Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Here it is, guys. Are you ready? This is apparently what is going to happen to the market if the Fed does not lower interest rates today. So we're waiting for that to occur today. If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, so it's supposed to happen at 2 p.m. today. This one courtesy of not Jerome Powell. It is a parody site. So, this is a big day. What time is the Fed rate decision? I had to look this up because I wasn't sure. The Federal Reserve's next interest rate decision is scheduled for September the 17th. So that is today. If you guys are watching this video again on the day that I'm releasing it at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which corresponds to about 6 p.m. Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC. So this is what we are to expect. And, if the Fed does in fact cut rates, I think a lot more, bullish crypto activity is going to follow, a lot more bullish activity in general for stock markets like the S&P 500. I mean, we're already at fairly high highs here for stock markets like the S&P. Let's look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is up near an all-time high as well. Okay, let's take a look at the NASDAQ here. NASDAQ, floundering a little bit, but it did recently make a new all-time high back in roughly mid-August. Let's look at the Russell 2000. Russell is also up very high as well. So stock markets have been doing very well. It isn't technically an all-time high after we did see that dip back at the beginning of the year. But guys, we're getting back to these levels, and interest rates could push it over the top. Now, we have the U.S. decision on September the 17th. Isn't it funny? Or not so funny, not so much of a coincidence that Canada's rate decision is also happening on the same day. The UK is also going to be deciding tomorrow, so September the 18th, along with Japan. Is it a coincidence? Asks Greg Crypto. I think not. I do not think so. I think, this is all, we know it's all planned. And so this is the situation that we're in right now. Bar chart here posted this. U.S. housing market has reached its most unaffordable level in history. Let's take a look at some of these charts and, just to kind of gauge why we're seeing this. Because all this ties together, guys. All this is tying together. This is U.S. home price history from 1890 to 2025. And so you guys can see here, from the 1890s to the early part of the 20th century, house prices actually went down. In and around the Depression, they were at their lowest, and then they started climbing again. And then the last 20 years has seen an insane amount of house appreciation. Moving into the 2000s, we had the 2006 bubble, the mortgage crisis. So this is U.S. home prices, of course. This does not reflect other home prices around the world. But then we had the mortgage crisis. Prices did drop, and then they rebounded. They shot up once again. And in 2025, guys, this is where we are today. So could we see another collapse after we do see these rate cuts? Another thing that Bar Chart posted here were Google searches for help with mortgage. People are struggling. Help with mortgage has now surpassed the peak of the 2008 global financial crisis, if you can believe it or not. It was at a peak back in 2008. Then, of course, it died down a little bit. There were some spikes here and there, just depending on the microeconomic situation. But guys, now look, it is back at that peak, back at 100 at this point in time in 2025. So another interesting metric there. And then late rental payments, they're also skyrocketing. This courtesy of Darth Powell here. And so throughout 2021, 22, 23, 24, we were actually on a downward trajectory, and we did see significant dips along the way. But since then, guys, late rent payments continue to uptick and are upticking up until we have data up until July of 2025. So these are all very, very important factors to consider as we are, facing Fed rate cuts. Now, the good thing about rate cuts is that this is going to push money into risk-on assets for some people, because when money is cheaper to borrow, people borrow more of it, and then people do stuff like invest money into the stock market, into cryptocurrencies, risk-on assets, other things like that. And so, what happened? We're going to get to that in a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. Let's take a look at this. Another bar chart tweet here. When the Fed cuts interest rates within 2% of stock market all-time highs, the S&P 500, for example, has gone on a finish higher over the next 12 months, 20 out of 20 times. So that is a 100% rate. So guys, we can almost guarantee that the markets are going to rally big time, and not just the stock market, crypto markets, everything here, that they're going to rally big time once the Fed does cut rates again. So the date of the rate cut, that gives you just a chart here of what happened when the rates were cut back in 1980, 1983, 85, 86, 89, 90, 91, 92, 95, 96, and then 2019, this is the modern era here, 2019 and 2024, what we did see over the next few months there, markets starting to soar in all kinds of markets. This is just giving us the S&P 500 returns. But guys, that is going to also translate into the crypto market. So how high is this going to go? Well, we also have German analyst Oliver Michel posting this new video, guys, talking about XRP and Ethereum. So in terms of cryptocurrency and how we're set up, the breakout zone, $3.40, new all-time high. He's suggesting $3.90 anytime soon. This courtesy of Zave Crypto. I'm going to translate this because, of course, it is in German. Listen to this. So he says, look at it. And of course, the same applies to XRP. If we take this as the last high, okay, he says it's all a daytime representation. If you would like to see this in a weekly overview, you can watch the last video. But now he's going to enlarge it on the daily view so that we can see the snippets at the end of its development. And it is quite clear here, too, that one has to go where the next time he has to take out this area here, so basically pointing resistance area. Yep, that's 340. It has to go over 350, and then it has to go over here and write a new all-time high, and then upward movement will be there. And the second question I ask myself, he says, besides, where do I go next? As the setup, where are the support areas on the downside? So support areas, should it not fall under? And there too, he says you could initially say, okay, if that's the low, then it better not fall below that low. And then you observe this low and it falls below that too, and it doesn't make a new high. Well, then you know, guys, there's a trend reversal, and it then just gradually just ends from there. The trend reversal, though, I think is still a few months away. I don't think we're there yet. Of course, we do still need to make these new all-time highs. We do need to wait for these rate cuts for that next push to occur. But guys, this is all going to happen very, very quickly. So wanted to thank Hey Greg Crypto, not Jerome Powell, Bart Chart here for all these wonderful charts, and Darth Powell for posting that, not to mention Zave Crypto for bringing that up. Now, Chad Steingraber, he's also commenting on rate cuts. Rate cuts are coming. And so what could this mean? So guys, take a look at this. This was the last time rates were cut back in September of 2024. What we saw there was a pump to the upside, up 78.5%. So that was September 18th, 2024. Okay, all the way to December 18th, 2024. What happened to the market? Well, it did pump 78%. And so he's using Bitcoin as that example here. And I mean, even if we take XRP and just bring XRP up 78%, I mean, let's call it for all intents and purposes, XRP up 78%. That would bring us, interesting, that would actually bring us up to about $5 and change. And, this is not to say that would be the end of the pump, but for more information on where, my realistic targets are going to be for XRP, because I'm looking at the realism of the market, where we actually are vis-a-vis where, we wish we were or where we hope we could be. You can follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I've lowered prices for the Patreon. They're back down to $5 a month, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock in to that subscription price. Check it out if you guys are interested. So I don't know. I mean, I think this is, it's very doable, 78% on another rate cut. And then it's going to depend on how many rate cuts we see subsequent to that. So all things considered, guys, we are in a very exciting period of time now for crypto and risk on assets in general. Digital asset buy here also commenting that Ripple and Bank of America are supporting this new announcement. The UK and the US are set to announce deeper cooperation on digital assets such as cryptocurrencies, according to people familiar with the matter, bringing Britain closer to the US after Donald Trump embraced the industry. So this is the latest, guys. The UK and the US working together. The meeting, which included major industry players. Now, this is important. Coinbase, Circle, Ripple, Citi, Bank of America, and Barclays. Let me read those again. Coinbase, which is an exchange, Circle, which deals in stablecoins. Ripple is the only company here that uses an agnostic cryptocurrency that is not a stablecoin. So XRP, of course, being that crypto. They also do have the RLUSD as a stablecoin. But then the rest are banks, guys. Citi, Bank of America, and Barclays. They just emphasize their potential for digital assets, especially stablecoins, in driving economic growth. British officials said there was a large opportunity for the UK in the crypto space, particularly since the Trump administration continues to advocate for innovation within the sector. The move to expedite cooperation was after the UK UK crypto associations called for digital assets to be included in bilateral agreements. In an open letter to Reeves in August of 2025, 30 industry figures in a crypto industry stated that the UK must take action now to avoid becoming a rule taker rather than a rule maker in this area. US and UK joining forces now to knock it out of the park and become leaders in the space. The meeting also discussed the potential for developing common regulatory sandboxes for blockchain and securities trials, such an initiative would enable companies to operate with coordinated oversight in both markets and test products for digital assets designed for cross-border use cases. And so, of course, Ripple is one of these companies that definitely wants to get on board with this particular endeavor. Cross-border use cases is the name of the game. We're already seeing Ripple partners like Santander opening up more crypto rails, guys. They've just partnered with OpenBank, and they're rolling out crypto trading in Germany specifically. So users can now trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Polygon, and Cardano with more options to follow, covered by guarantees and investor protection. So in a fully regulated atmosphere, the service will be expanded to customers in Spain in the coming weeks, while OpenBank is set to roll out more functionalities such as conversion between different cryptocurrencies. The bank is charging 1.49%. I mean, they got to make their money somewhere. And so here's a quote: "By incorporating the main cryptocurrencies into our investment platform, we are responding to the demand for some of our customers and continue to strengthen a broad range of products and services through an agile, simple technology platform backed by one of the world's leading financial groups." So this coming from Coti de Monteverde, the head of crypto at Santander, which is in fact a Ripple partner, one of the older Ripple partners, the legacy Ripple partner, I guess you could say, from a while back. So this is what we're seeing, guys, in Spain, US, and the UK collaborating. And the Wrath of Conman also noticing this with regards to Nature's Miracle Holdings. Okay, they just announced they intend to acquire a $20 million carbon credit portfolio to use as the basis for a tokenized carbon product on the XRP ledger. So, more verticals also moving in. This is also what's going to drive more demand for XRP, guys. So they've signed a letter of intent with Carbon Credit Corporation, and they're a Taiwanese-based company, to acquire $20 million, a $20 million carbon credit portfolio, which is equivalent to about 1 million metric tons of CO2 emission reduction. The NMHI plans to develop tokenized carbon credit products with their portfolio using the XRP ledger. The carbon credit in the $20 million portfolio is associated with hydroelectric and methane products, just to give you guys some more detail on that. And then a quote down here: "As a former CEO and co-founder of the largest hydroelectric company listed on the New York Stock Exchange, I understand the importance and value of carbon credit generation or generated from green and renewable energy products." So because this is becoming more prevalent, we are seeing more projects moving this way. And, if we do see more people tokenizing on the XRP ledger, that's just going to be, more lucrative for XRP demand. We are very excited to acquire this $20 million carbon credit portfolio and are looking forward to utilizing the XRP ledger to create tokenized carbon credits. This will position NMHI as a leader in pioneering the application of XRP in real-world asset tokenization. So they are specifically looking to tokenize, and they're excited about the tokenization of these carbon credits on the XRP ledger. So some great news there. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. Guys, how close are we to this euphoric phase? This coming from Eggreg Capital. So the next 30 to 90 days are going to be crucial. If you guys are watching this on the day that I'm releasing it, we're getting very close. That's going to be crucial. This period will determine whether you will be among the 1% of winners or left behind with 99% of losers. Make sure you have a plan, and I'm going to put the Patreon link up there again if you guys want to join my Patreon. Only $5 a month with the total crypto market cap, okay, excluding the top 10 coins set to take off. Now is time to assess your strategy and make informed decisions. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. You have to have a plan. Are you ready to ride the wave? Make sure you read this thread in full. So let's go down here. So we got to track crypto outside the top 10 coins, okay? It's breaking out of a multi-year base. Historically, this signals an explosive altcoin rally. So this is the total, what is this? The total two? Oh no, this is all cryptos excluding the top 10. And guys, we're even breaking out on that chart too. So we're seeing that here. In the past, we've seen gains upwards of, in the most extreme examples, 152,000% to the upside. and then smaller coins about 3,600% to the upside. So we just have to make sure that we are prepared for this. So we're seeing the inverted head and shoulders pattern. These are the 3 measured moves here, and then he gives that. The logarithmic measured move is about 1.5 trillion. Non-logarithmic is about 640 billion. The average move, 1.07 trillion. As always, I believe the average is the most optimal target to aim for. So let's not get too lofty. We have to keep our expectations in check. Understanding altcoin season. So guys, here's essentially what you need to know. It's an exciting period when all these other cryptocurrencies outperform Bitcoin. This typically happens after BTC has had a strong rally to the upside. As Bitcoin's dominance in the market decreases, and I've talked about Bitcoin dominance on this channel in the past, I talk about it more at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, investors start to shift their capital into altcoins driven by FOMO. This influx of investment into smaller, often riskier cryptos can lead to significant price surges. So guys, this is what we're hoping for. And so the phases of altcoin season, what to expect. So we're supposed to see the Bitcoin rally first. Then Ethereum takes the lead traditionally, and that's what we have to have our eye on too. Then large caps rally. Then we get the small cap mania. So large caps, for example, that's XRP, DOT, HBAR, Solana, ADA, and others. And then it's going to be all those other cryptocurrencies that are likely going to rally. So some key indicators to watch, guys. Bitcoin versus altcoin dominance. Again, I've talked about this. This shows the percentage of the total crypto market cap represented by Bitcoin and the dominance there. And then altcoin dominance. So when you compare the two, what does that look like? The pattern, historically, when Bitcoin's dominance falls and altcoin dominance rises, it signals a rotation into altcoin. So this is when people take money out of Bitcoin and put it into altcoins. Spotting this pattern can help you decide when to shift funds into promising altcoins, potentially leading to greater profits as they start to gain momentum. And so promising technical setups. And then he gives some of that impending breakout, the RSI momentum. So going into more specific indicators here, key trend lines to take a look at. A great thread here, understanding MACD. So he goes into MACD, the bullish cross, monthly time frames, first green histogram candles. And again, I will link this in the description if you guys want to go into it in more detail. Looking back at 2017 and 2021, this is what I like to look at, the historical moves. I mean, the technicals are going to be important for I think the major cryptocurrencies, but really, if we are still trading in a spec market, it's going to be about the sentiment in the space. Looking back at 2017 and 2021, we see similar setups. Each time altcoin season erupts after distinctive patterns, today's market feels familiar with the narrative catalysts emerging. So that's the other thing to be paying attention to, guys, the narrative. But be cautious. True altcoin seasons are short-lived, usually lasting only about 6 to 8 weeks. Timing is crucial. And so don't get caught holding the bag when the market does turn. Have an exit strategy. Remember, guys, have a plan. No matter what you do, have a plan. Take profits as prices rise and rotate back into Bitcoin or stable coins as momentum fades. I would be very leery of that. That's the one point there that I disagree with. I have my own strategy that I'm going to be looking at over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Even though alt season can be thrilling, just remember, okay, the same forces driving gains can lead to sharp losses. So set clear goals and stay disciplined. These are all good ideas. Okay, everything's aligning for the potential altcoin season. If you're a retail investor, the coming weeks could be very exciting and challenging. Stay nimble, manage your risk, and protect your profits. I cannot agree more. So this courtesy of Eggreg Capital, thanks so much for posting that. I think we are on a really good trajectory. $5.37 maybe for that next pump. I also saw this from Steph is Crypto. XRP history is repeating itself. Now, he was taking a look at the 2021 chart, comparing it to today, and just taking a look at the 3-day here. You guys can see we are forming that bullish pennant pattern, similar to what we're seeing today. If history does rhyme, and I mean, he did take a fractal pattern here, that would get us up to, guys, roughly $5.50. So not quite far off from that 78% that Chad Steingraber was noticing here on the chart when we did see those rate cuts back in September of last year. So guys, what are we to expect today? If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, let's see what these rate cuts do to the market, if it's going to happen right away. If it's going to take a day or two, we still do have to be patient. But guys, this is the most exciting time in the crypto space. That's just my opinion. And again, for more opinions on where I think the crypto market's going to go, follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. And if you guys are interested in maybe supporting the channel in a different way, every little bit counts. And I do thank everybody for supporting the channel by buying the Working Money Channel merch. Link is in the description of the video. Got a lot of cool things here. Check it out. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.